No, Talk Time on podcast. It's the Sutton podcast.
And there it is! Sutton United of the GM Vauxhall Conference have put out First Division Coventry City, winners of the FA Cup themselves less than 2 years ago. And what a moment to enjoy for the fans of this Surrey side. They've had their moments before, but never one like this.
But the whistle goes down. New life for Sutton United. Sutton United, the National League, are through to the last 16 of the FA Cup. No longer English football's perennial non-league club. A 123-year crescendo reaches a new peak for Sutton United, who are promoted to the Football League for the first time.
Hello and welcome to the Sutton United Talk Time on podcast, the Midweek Social. Joining me today, I've got Claire and Dan. Hello, guys.
Evening.
And I'm not terrified. Obviously, I want to win the final, but I'm very concerned I'm going to have to add to that intro. And I have absolutely no idea how I did it the first time. But that's a problem for another day. That'll be a good problem to have over the summer, hopefully. A couple of little things just to go through first. We had obviously the collection at the Tranmere game for Nate, and it was £575 was collected, and then very, very nicely I saw on Facebook Autotech have actually bumped that up to £1,000, which was really nice of them. And I messaged her and said, "Oh, I'll mention it on the podcast." She's like, "Oh, we didn't do it for the publicity." And I thought, just as well, really, because you're going to get any business from this. But it's a really nice thing to mention. So if you do need anything from Autotech, please do go to them. They're very, very nice people pumping that up. And lots of messages from Tranmere fans, especially Harry, who was on last week. He wants to give an extra big thank to Ali and Jenny for sorting it out, and for everyone who's contributed. So the loving with Tranmere carries on again and again and again. Also, big news this week was the release of the Cup final song. And I'm just going to... Much excitement. Unfortunately, my idea of the fast food rockers with a pizza cup, something, and a pizza cup, I think I put that in too late.
I think you did put that into there. I think if you'd got in touch with Joe beforehand, maybe you might have
What you should have done was teamed up with Greek, because most of his suggestions were of that kind of material.
There were some quality suggestions. I mean, I say quality. There was a lot of eye rolling.
And by quality, Claire means fucking terrible.
I don't know what you mean. We rewrote Chesney Hawks and all sorts. It was great.
And Chesney tweeted. Robbo got Chesney to tweet us, and I tried to build up some kind of rumble because one of the Chuckle brothers was saying, "No, Chesney, we're going to beat you." It was like, "Oh, celebrate rumble!" But yeah, I'm going to slide the song in now, and anyone who hasn't heard it, what the hell are you doing with your lives? But you're going to hear it now. So that was Joe with the FA Cup final song. So with the Pizza Cup final song. And Dan, you've mentioned that hopefully there's going to be a little bit more to the song this week.
We're trying to get a little video done to accompany it. We're not talking like a Thriller rerun or anything like that. Because when Tots did his FA Cup song for the run 5 years ago, we did just like a little guerrilla kind of slideshow video to kind of just accompany the track, just so that when it got chucked on YouTube or something, you actually had something visually there as well. Mm-hmm. So trying to get that done this week, although it's quite a busy week, so whether that'll happen or not, I don't know.
Well, we've still got another week anyway, but it's got to be in the chart. It's got to be in the charts this week, I think, to get it to number one.
Oh well, we'll see. See what we can do.
But yeah, well done, Joe. That was really, really good. And yeah, look out for that video this week. Hopefully, Dan pulls his finger. I mean, no, when it gets done.
Wasn't the finger I was expecting you to put out there.
It's a family show.
Family show. I was thinking that when you were talking about the eye rolling at Greek, I was thinking, did you see that that tweet I put out earlier on when I was winding Rosie up. The 4-year-old, did you see the eye roll? It was, you have to go back a little bit. I was doing this awful joke, talking to her, saying, "No, have you heard about Kay?" And when she said Kay, I went, "Sarah, whatever will be." And the eye roll for 4 years of age is absolutely amazing.
Surely she's used to your behaviour by now.
Yeah, she's worse than me. Honestly, I'm like, take the dog out. And she's like, "Daddy, where are you going?" I was like, "I'm taking the dog out." She goes, "No, where are you going?" I was like, "I'm taking the dog out." "No, Daddy, it's Wembley." I've gone on for too much, I think. Sally's threatening to kill me again.
Shocking.
There's a Parents' Day next week. I'm a little bit worried about that as well. As teachers might be talking about this kind of behaviour, but hey, it's all part of their development. Right, so let's talk about the Oldham match. You got up there this time, and there was a game to play. That must have been a bonus.
Made a nice change, to be fair.
Yeah, it was. It was quite handy, not to have to go up there twice for no bloody reason. So,
and warm.
Yes,
everyone says it's the coldest football ground on earth, and I was quite toasty last night.
Yeah. Me and Nick got up there at 1:30. Walked out Piccadilly Station. Gorgeous sunshine. And as someone who spent quite a lot of time in Manchester as a kid, because I got family up there, you don't get that up there quite often. So yeah, we had a lovely couple of hours parked in the Piccadilly Tap on their little terrace up the top there with a couple of pints.
Yeah, I saw someone was in their shirt sleeves as well.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's amazing.
It's very nice.
Did you see the tweet with the team news that was hastily deleted because they had 3 names wrong?
Well, yeah, no, we didn't see the team until we kind of, because we were in Oldham having another drink, and we got a lift over to the ground, and then we saw the team, and all right, Ali's playing, blah blah blah, and then suddenly, a couple of minutes later, another one follows. How do you get 3 wrong on a lineup?
We had a different experience.
There's only 11 people listed. How do you get 30% of it wrong?
David and I were already at the ground, and when we looked at the team sheet, and we were like, "Why are they over there if this is the team that we're playing?" It was very, very odd.
I saw Joe had responded to the tweet with the gif of, why is he doing that? And then a little while later,
what made it even more confusing for us was that while we were sat outside the Tap in Piccadilly having a beer, the team got off their train and walked down to obviously whichever hotel that they'd sort of hired for their pre-match sort of lunch and meeting. And there was like those 3 names that were mentioned, they weren't even with the group. So we were like, Ali Smith. But no, we saw the team. Did they come on another train? So yeah,
I'm not going to go back. I'm wondering if that's the last team we had when we used that green graphic. It might be they just
because that is the kind of thing that you like to do. You are.
Yeah, that wouldn't.
I wish I'd thought of that. Yeah, I wish I'd thought of that earlier because I could have done some actual research, but fuck it, no one checks these things. Yeah, that's the reason.
Overrated.
Absolutely.
That's not keeping with the tone of this podcast, quite frankly.
Yeah. No, absolutely not. Except when Chalmers comes on and says, "Yes, I watched a documentary about them." You did what?
You just have to do what we do when he starts talking and say, "Cool story, bro." And
bro, yeah. Poor PC.
Yeah. But yeah, great result. With Ricky, that first goal was amazing.
Brilliant. Once more, Sutton United bringing non-league to the Football League.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Absolutely. Yes. Someone did say they wanted that on a T-shirt, but I knew I hadn't said that, so I wasn't going to organise a T-shirt. But you may well have said that. I can't remember. But a bit of luck, and I think Oldham were like, "Yep, that's the kind of luck you get when you're down the bottom."
Yeah.
They kind of got back into it a little bit, possibly aided by the referee. I know you've probably got a few words to say about the referee, but how did the first half feel to you? Go on, Dan, go for it. I listened to another podcast earlier, and they had a whole section on Ref Watch.
God.
No, I'm not doing that.
No.
It's not a chance.
That's the surest way to get a liable problem. No, it was. I thought first half, they started strong. They were obviously scrapping for points. They had a right good go, and then we got that shit goal, and you could just see it. They just went, that's us. We're done. Yeah, and from then, I mean, we could have been 2 or 3 up at half time. The ref missed a couple of the. I mean, there was one handball that was just so obvious in the box that even like it bounced up, hit their guy's arm, and both he and Dave kind of both stopped and looked at each other. So, and I think they're just waiting for the ref to blow the whistle, and he didn't. So, but yeah.
Do we not think it was so obvious the ref kind of went, that can't have happened? That couldn't possibly have happened.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, we should have been a bit more ahead by half time. But then Kenny tees up Ricky after the break, and job done really from that point on.
Yeah. There was one other tweet that was interesting. I don't know if you saw it, Claire. Harry was tweeted by possibly someone who had a bit of money on Ricky scoring a hat trick. Did you see?
No, I did see that
again. That's just such a shame. Ruining people's
I'm not saying it was, but I think the wording was, how can Harry Buterman come onto the pitch after 15 minutes or 16 minutes, take a penalty and stop his teammate getting a hat trick? Mug. So I'm going to assume that Harry retweeted.
I mean, I think, quite a few of us were thinking, wouldn't it be nice for Ricky to get a hat trick? But ultimately, he needed the confidence boost of having got a couple of goals under his belt, which he got. And I think Harry really needed to take that penalty after the Wigan game, because I think that he was incredibly disappointed not to have scored when he stepped up to take his. And it just puts him, I mean, it's all forgotten about as far as we're all concerned, because wonderful things are happening, bizarre and wonderful things. But I think he needed that confidence boost as well. So fair play to him, and it's a nice penalty.
Yeah, and to be fair, from what we know about Matt, do you think he would have been over the moon if his non-penalty taker was stepping up to take it? It was only 2-0 at that point. There would have been things said, I would imagine. It's not a test. It's not like it was 5-6-0, and it's not a testimonial. It's a game we need to win, because if it had missed and they got that one back at the end, they then hit the crossbar as well. So it could have suddenly changed the whole outcome of the game. So can't be doing that.
Yeah, I'm sure once he was on that he was the designated pen taker. So. Yeah. Bit of a non-story. It was quite funny though. Harry retweeting it with "Sorry, Ricky."
Yeah, Ricky was like, oh, whatever. So I'm pretty sure I can't remember. I think Ricky missed against Stevenage as well. I think I'm not. No, that could be bollocks. We know that could be rubbish. But he didn't seem too bothered about it anyway. So, but yeah, the 3-0, we were back in the playoffs. And then unfortunately that goal, which, grand scheme of things, it don't matter, but just dropped us back out of the playoffs on literally, I think it's goals scored, we're out of it now. But overall, it was good to get a win back after a couple of draws.
I think it would have been disappointed not to have come away with a win, to be honest. I spent yesterday morning having a bit of a chat with one of the guys, Andy, at work about, he's an Oldham fan, and he was saying, most of our lot are either injured or suspended, and we've taken to basically just kicking opposition around the pitch. So
good luck with that.
So it was nice to be able to come into work this morning and gloat mildly towards him.
You can't do that. You can't kick people when they're down like that. No, so that you can.
The joy of friendship.
Exactly. But yeah, so it was good to tick it off. As I said last night, it's like the sudden realization of, actually, we've only got between 9 and 12 games of the season left. We're coming to the proper business end of the season, and it's all going to be about results now. Looking at the run-in, we'll come back to Port Vale in a moment, but looking at the run-in, how are you feeling points-wise? Do you think we're going to get to the 75 or?
So what are we on now? We're on 61, is it?
61.
Yeah.
So you need another sort of 13, 14 points. So you really need to win about another 4 or 5 games, don't you?
Yeah.
We need bodies back. We
I think
definitely.
that's the clincher, isn't it? It's
we need
having bodies back to do the job.
If we can get people back, then it's doable. I reckon. Well, we got 8 left, so we could easily win 4 of those. But it's dependent on who's fit.
Yeah, I mean,
it's the ridiculousness of, again, did we think we would be having this conversation at the beginning of the season? Like, this is absurd.
And there is that little element of when we dropped out of the playoff spots, I had that little, that's so annoying. But then it's like, do you know what? It doesn't matter. And I think it was a couple of years ago when Josh was coming to me regularly, and we had a great start one season under Doss and then fell away. And I said, everyone's getting miffed because we come to the end of the season and we fell away. But had we done that the other way around, we had a shocking start and then a great run up to mid-table, everyone would be saying what a wonderful season it is. So, I mean, whatever happens, we're going to be finishing way above where we potentially fall. But after being there for so long, it will just have that tiny, tiny little bit of, damn it.
Yeah, it's one of those things. If we don't make it and we come in 8th or 9th or whatever and miss out by a couple of points, there's disappointment because, like you say, you've been in those places for so long now. But everyone will just sit there and go, top 10 in League 2.
Yeah.
Because that's that. If you told anyone that at the start of the season, you'll get a top 10 place, top 10 easy, then you'd have gone, take it, have that all day long.
No, you wouldn't. You would have said, yeah, okay, mate. Have a lovely day. But yeah, it's like the Bristol Rovers match where we drew at our place, and I sort of walked out the gate, walked through the park, feeling a bit kind of, oh, for fuck's sake. And then I kind of got round to the bus station going, that's Bristol Rovers, and we drew with them, and I'm pissed off that we drew with them. That is showing some sort of levels that we've jumped up. And as I said, I think it was Saturday, after the cup final tickets being announced, I just looked up how many we sold 10 years ago, and I think our average gate was 508, and our highest gate was 840. So it's like, okay, this is silly now. We've got to rein it back in and understand where we've come from. But massive game. It's all that. Yeah, isn't it lovely? But we got to win this game. What are we thinking about Port Vale?
It's gonna be a tough one. They're a good side. They are where they are. We saw at the game at our place. They can play a fair bit. Probably one of the better sides we've played this year. Although they've had a couple of little slip-ups lately that I wouldn't have expected them to lose. So I don't know. It's a funny league. It's a bit like the National in that there's been a fair bit of everybody beating everybody. So again, I'd if we go up there and can get a point, I'd take that all day long. I'd be happy as Larry with that.
Yeah. No, I'm inclined to agree. I mean, coming away with a point would be pretty decent day at the office, really. I think it is going to be a tough one. Yeah,
they're going to be well up for it, especially after the game earlier in the season, which is.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be a few who will remember those celebrations in front of them for the winner. So,
absolutely, yeah. But yeah, I mean, I listened to their podcast and they were kind of talking about the Exeter match and saying how brilliant Exeter were and they've been a great team this season. I don't remember them being that great.
No, they weren't amazing at theirs. I mean, at St James's, we played them off the park.
Yeah, it was 0-0, wasn't it?
No, the one we lost.
We lost. No, yeah, we lost. We
murdered them and conceded an own goal, and that was it. And then they weren't very good at ours either. So
yeah, that's the one their manager came out going, don't ask me how we won that because I haven't got a clue. So yeah, but yeah, so as you say, it's a funny league with different teams doing different things. But I think you were at the lunch the other day, Dan. Was there any injuries likely to be back soon, or did he just not?
There was new ones for last night. There was a couple more from last night, and we got a couple back. So it seems to be people in, people out at the moment. I think from what Matt was saying, Ali Smith was back training, Tanto's back training, Louis back doing light training. I think Rob Milson might be in with a chance this week. Eastie's the same, just a knock and stuff like that. So yeah, it's whoever makes it through the week without falling victim to whatever our strenuous training regimes involve.
That was one of the biggest disappointments from last night from I's perspective, is how many people were out. So Dundo comes on, and then you just basically spend the whole time that he's on the pitch going, can we have a Dundo goal? Can we have a Dundo goal? Because him having, scored in the Football League would be pretty amazing.
That would be very good. And Killian had a good chance to open his account. Yes, so Matt was a bit disappointed that didn't go in. But no, I mean, yeah, who knows? I mean, I did try and liaise with the podcast Ale and the Vale and the Ale podcast, and in true stereotypical football fans, you get the image of football fans. We couldn't get a right time because it had to revolve around Littleham's bedtimes. So I'm terribly sorry, I can't do that time. I've got to go and read a story to my little. So I'm sitting there just going, this is pathetic.
People with kids.
We're all just boozed thugs, Mike. That's what it is.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I've got Peppa Pig to read. Couldn't possibly. But yeah, so I give you, kind of glossed over it, but I am going to ask you for some nominations for the pod player of the day for yesterday. It's going to be Ricky, is one of them, so I'll take that one away from you. So who else do you reckon? I'd like to have 4.
I'd like to put a punt in for Ben Goodliff. I just think
he was excellent again.
Just all over the park. Great.
Yeah. Actually, Kenny. Yeah, okay. I only played an hour, but Kenny looked a bit back to the Kenny Davis from earlier this season, right at the start, where he was just playing out of his skin. He just was back to that a bit. Teed up the second goal, so yeah, Kenny's definitely worth a mention.
Yeah.
Trying to think who else.
Let's have one more. While you're thinking of one more, someone said on Twitter the other day they were talking to Kenny's mum at lunchtime today, and she's made up with how the season's gone for us all. Okay.
Actually, for your 4th one, put Richie Bennett down, because his mum and dad were there last night, sat about 3 rows in front of us. And I think it's either his birthday yesterday or today, somenan said.
Yeah.
So give Richie a nod.
Yeah. His nan's on Twitter as well. Have you seen his nan? Yeah, it's beautiful. She just loves it. So, was she there, or was she in the home end?
His mum and dad said that he wanted everyone in the away end, but a load of them went in the hospitality in the stand. And I think because he's from Oldham, so apparently there was a couple of family members in the home end as well. So they were dotted all over the place.
He did all right when he didn't give away that many fouls, I don't think.
Had a good chance second half.
Consistently really good this season, and I get really frustrated listening to people. Especially on Saturday, the people who were stood behind me on Saturday, I had to really bite my tongue. But they consistently pick on things and go like, they see what they want to see. And so they see one time when someone doesn't go for the ball and they're complaining about how he doesn't have the pace. And I'm like, just shut up. Like, just watch the game properly. I've never really understood that. Like, they're just on him constantly.
Although, to be fair, on Saturday, you could think that Omar didn't like him very much, because he gave that short ball to Omar, and Omar pumped it in, like, run for it, and she's like, fuck's sake. And he's done all that running, and then, as you said, I think then there was no one else with him after he tried to chase it down. There was just literally no one. It was almost as if they all went, ah.
The worst thing as a forward, someone punts one over the top for you to chase down that. The defender gets there, and he just strokes it to a bloke who's completely unmarked, and they just play out, and you turn around and go, where is everybody else? You've just run your cobblers off to get there, and there's just no one backing you up.
Yeah, well, but what you were saying, Claire, about being consistent, I keep getting asked various different things. Which players are standout players for the season. And I keep copping it out, going, you name a player and I'll build a case for them being a standout player. Obviously, I smiled when you lot said Ben, because I think Ben's been in the nominations almost every single week, along with usually Omar as well. But yeah, would you guys have a standout player for this year? Or?
Obviously Ben. Eastie's been excellent, obviously, all season. Actually, I think Louis, before he got his knock, Louis's been excellent, and to be honest, Kobe's been really good as well when he's come in. But again, exactly, like you say, you can roll through that side.
You can go through the side.
There's probably only a couple of lads you can say haven't had an outstanding season, but that's not because they've not been in form. It's just because they've either not got shots. Guys like Ricky, who kept getting little niggles and knocks and got COVID just every time, and it just kept him from getting any kind of run in the side. So and obviously Enzio as well. We've seen what he can do, but just a bit of a stop-start season rather than a bad season.
Yeah, so I think Ricky had one game where he wasn't so great, and unfortunately that was the Walsall one, where things just didn't seem to go his way. But we're League Two. He's not going to be. None of the players are going to be perfect in every single game. But yeah, no, it's a weird one because obviously David gets a load of the people look at him because as soon as he gets the ball, everyone kind of is up off, well, not off their seat, but he kind of goes in fits and starts, and he's double marked a lot of the time, which I think is why we're getting a lot of room down the left because I think we've had 6 goals from the left wing in the last 7 games.
It's been a fair few.
Yeah. So again.
Stato.
And there was he saying earlier, he doesn't do any research. He does. He does.
I made it up and I said it with confidence, and neither of you two corrected me. It could be horribly wrong. All we know
9 times out of 10, we're too pissed to disagree with you.
Yeah, exactly. It's normally booze.
Just say it with confidence and go.
But I think you're right that you could genuinely, and we've had this conversation before, I think, when I've been on the podcast, you could build a case for pretty much anyone that I'd agree with everyone that Dan suggested. I'd put in a backing for Kizzy. You can't not mention Dino. Just been awesome.
Rob at 104.
Rob Milsom. Rob Milsom. I think it was probably a little bit out of sight, out of mind then with him because he'd been brilliant. And he's now just had a little break from like 2-3 games out of the side. So he's not instantly coming to mind. But yeah, he's been fantastic all season.
Yeah, I thought Dino might step up to take the penalty last night, quite frankly.
Probably because Harry grabbed the ball that quick that then he was like, "Oh shit, I'll never get up there in time."
Dino's been digging everyone out to try and get that to happen at some point this season, especially after the semi.
Yeah, absolutely. He's probably the only person begging the finals to go to penalties. But talking of the final, you're all excited?
Yes, still not. Yeah, I think it will.
Real.
Yeah, it'll just be on the day. I think will be the sort of day or two before. It'll be a bit more hit home a little bit more. It's going to be a good day.
There's some exciting stuff happening. I think in the borough. I think the borough's turning amber and chocolate over the weekend. Bunting and banners all over the place. So
cool.
That's exciting.
I did make a little comment to the boss because last time when we did well in the FA Cup, I was sitting down in the reception at Civic and suddenly I'm looking up and seeing people I recognise, thinking, I know you. Hang on, that's Nicky. What the fuck's Nicky Bailey doing here? And then suddenly realised loads of players were there. I was like, what's going on? And they're all in to meet the mayor and the leader, and I'm like, I'm sorry, what? So I've made a little message going, by the way, if you're going to invite them all again, you might want someone next to you who can tell you who they are. So I was like, and then I suddenly realised, oh, hang on a minute, that might not work out because if they ain't got their shirts on and I'm half blind, I'm going to be like, I don't know who that is. But never mind, it'll be good. It'll be cracking. There's loads of people from my work going.
There's like 11,000 people going.
I know.
The World and its Wife's got a ticket.
It's mad.
Yeah, looks like they've sold about the same amount of tickets as us, so be about 23,000.
Yeah, no,
sounds of it.
should be a good game. I mean, they've got a nice little break, but it might be too long. I think they've got 2 weeks without a game, and we've got about a week or so. But yeah, my boss was most upset that I wasn't sitting with her. She was like, "We're all going to go and get tickets," and I was like, "Well, that's lovely. This is where you get the tickets from." She goes, "Oh, why aren't you going to get them?" I was like, "No, I'm going to go on my own and sit on my own. I'm not sociable. I will sit there." And she was like, "Oh, okay, that's a bit weird." And a little while later, I walked around the back of the computer to get something else. And I'm looking at her screen, and I've had to call another member of the team over to go, right, so she's nearly 16. She's got no interest in football. I was like, "Come on, Elaine, come over and have a look at this screen and see if you can tell why I'm not going to sit with her at the football." And she was sitting there on Amazon looking up fucking inflatable giraffe costumes. Let's see if we can work out why Mike's not sitting with you.
And there was me going to advocate for they don't want the shouty, sweary stuff because, you don't want your workmates seeing any of that. No, it's because they're weirdos.
Apparently, they've got plans for fucking face paint.
Oh, God.
Glitter face paint. I was like, I do have to say, although I love them because it annoys people, you do know what colours we play in. You're going to be putting brown glitter on your face.
Yeah, see, I had to rethink this. So I
good look.
It's not a good look. I looked at nail varnish because I'll paint my nails yellow. And then I was like, I'll order brown. And I was like, no, I won't. No. I absolutely will not order brown nail polish.
Can you even get brown nail polish?
You can. It's so grim.
Who's wearing that?
Somebody wants to look like they've spent the day in the garden. Yeah. Just not a good look. I think Dan will tell you I got quite stressed about tickets, not the getting tickets. That wasn't really the question. It was the all being together element of it. And I just think that was a real anxiety moment for me of there's so many people that I want to be near. And being a bit of a brat about it and telling everybody else where we should go really worked out for me, to be quite honest.
I agree because all right, as I said, I'm not the most sociable in the world, but I want to see all you guys' faces as you're at Wembley going, "Fuck, what's going on?" And I just those moments at Wigan where we won and everyone was up in the air and there was loads of hugs going on. I'm like, all right, I'm sure anyone who comes to me will be pleased for me, but it's not quite the same. So I was like, no, I really. So when they did that thing with the tickets where we could get them that little bit early, I was actually really, really pleased because we'll all at least see each other. I thought I was at the front. I was in row 10 and there was no other rows in front of me. And I'm like, okay, that's all right. At least I might have a chance of seeing what's going on. And then another person at work said they're in the same section in row 9. And he happens to be, him and his mates, the seat directly in front of me. So I'm like, okay, I'm not there. Well, I know you guys are in the same section just a little bit.
We're at the back of that, I think. Right at the back of the block. So
right at the back.
Yeah, I think the idea was that so we can all just basically be naughty and stand up without pissing other people off was one of it.
Oh my God. In your giraffe fucking outfits.
No.
There will be no giraffe
What's
outfits.
the person behind you going to think of this giraffe outfit?
That's the thing as well. I have questions. Is it like a proper giraffe with like Jenny is, the mascot, with the neck? Or is it just a giraffe with the neck removed?
There was two that I saw.
If they've got a proper one, that's really going to piss off anyone about 4 rows back.
Yeah. There was two that I saw. One was, it was like that, the horse things where you put your legs into it and your legs are the... and there was a great big neck that you ride it like that fucking horse thing. And
so it basically looks like you're shagging a giraffe.
Yeah. And then there was another one where it was just the head. But it was quite long. So your little face peered out and then the head's up here. And I was like, you're sitting miles away from me. Go for your knife.
I'm not being funny, but if some prick sat in front of me wearing one of those, I'd be, no.
I'd take up smoking just to pop it.
Talking of not good looks, that's not a good look either, by the sounds of it.
Yeah.
No.
They're trying. Love them. The only other game she's been to is the Salford game. So she came to that one and she was like, "Oh, it's not very exciting, is it?" And I was like, "In fairness, that one was one for the purists. that was a different game, not to encourage people to come back again." But
It's League Two football, darling.
Bless, they're coming and trying. So, but my little Sutton's getting big time, and I think it's probably about 12,000 now. Don't you reckon?
I had a look. Actually, funny enough, on the train back from Oldham this morning, we had a quick look on the because you can zoom in on the stadium view and you can kind of see where the seats are left, and there's definitely less than there was on Saturday. So we're probably
most of the behind, isn't it? Is pretty much gone.
Yeah, it's pretty much round the opposite side of the ground now. That's where there's only stuff left. So we must be close. If we're not over 12,000 already, we must be pretty close.
Yeah, because I mean, I did have a little decision whether I wanted to just go for the most expensive ticket possible, because how often are you going to be able to say you spent that much watching Sutton? But then I weighed that up and was like, no, fuck that, I'm sitting with everyone.
Yeah, but then you're also left with the conundrum that you've paid that much to watch Sutton.
Yeah.
He also abused me, Dan, because he thought for a second that I was going to be allowed to be Paul's kind of personal secretary for the day and follow him around and carry a camera. He's like, "You're not going in with him, are you?" And I was like, "No."
Well, you said I got my ticket sorted. It's like, hang on a minute. I wasn't got the ticket sorted. My ticket, you said. I was like, fuck's sake, that was my plan. I've also entered the competition, so I'll get a VIP day at Wembley, in which case, see you bitches, I'm off.
I thought you were going to say you entered the competition to be the mascot then.
No, I looked up the rules on that very carefully, because they did say your child, and I tried to get my mum to do it, but then I think it did have an upper age limit of 14. Damn it. Foiled once again.
Try to get your mum to enter.
Just click here. It's fine, Ma. Anyway, on that note, that I'm trying to be a con artist and fraudulent, is there anything else you guys wanted to bring up? Not of criminal history or anything. No,
nothing controversial.
No,
excellent.
No.
Well, enjoy Port Vale, because we all know I'm not going, but you guys are. And he said there was 65 last night.
Something like
that.
60 something, I think it was. It was either 62 or 65. Someone said, yeah.
Okay. And did it look it? Because I know at the Swindon one, everyone was a bit confused. Going, well, hang on a minute.
Yeah, Swindon was weird because we sold like 100 and something in advance, and then we knew at least a dozen people who bought tickets on the night, and they announced I think what they do is they generally announce advance sales if it's over a certain number.
I think I think at Swindon, one of the issues that might have happened is that when I went in, the tickets weren't scanning. So there was a steward there who was basically just using a pass and letting people in. So I don't think they were counting our tickets in the way that they should have been, because there was way more than what was said. Like, whereas last night there was 60 of us, and it felt intimate.
Yeah, but it makes sense though, because 60 to Oldham on a Tuesday.
Yeah, not everyone's as crazy as we are.
Yeah, exactly. But only 100 to Swindon, which isn't that far in comparison. I couldn't work out. Obviously, it's too far for me, because old man needs to be tucked up in bed. But enjoy Port Vale. Thanks for coming on. Thank you for your time always. Dan, go finish the edit off and get the blog out.
I've got to go finish now. Got to go and finish the blog, and I'm actually sat here in the kitchen whilst my dinner slowly simmers, and I'm now really, really, really hungry.
Oh, nice! Let's keep him as long as possible, Claire.
No, I'm just I'm just going to hang up now.
Thank you very much, guys. I will see you in
probably Wembley now.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
Port Vale's the last one before Wembley.
Ooh, that's just sunk home. I'll see you at Wembley, guys. Thank you very much. Take care.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.